Facts Only Test Prep.
Welcome to Facts Only Test Prep. We're called Facts Only because we give you everything you need and nothing you don't when it comes to the SAT. So please enjoy the next video.
Interpreting surveys.
Students have expressed to me that they get really frustrated when they read a question that asks for what they think is a subjective opinion to an answer about like a survey. You know, there's maybe 2 or 3 of these per math section where we're given survey information and we're asked what's wrong with it or what can be inferred from it. And there's a couple different ways to approach these. What I thought was, rather than give you 2 or 3 specific rules that are always true, maybe be better off going through 4 examples that I think illustrate the way that you should tackle these kinds of questions. These are the only 4 that I could find in this family of questions, and I think that they illustrate the best way to approach interpreting survey data. You're going to need Test 2, Section 4, number 13, Test 5, Section 4, number 15, and Test 6, Section 4, number 7. Pause the video, go to factsonlytestprep.com, click on the links to get the test if you need them. Let's look at that first question. This is Test 2, Section 4, number 13. Right away, we see this is a lot of reading, right? A researcher conducted a survey to determine whether people in a certain large town prefer watching sports on television to attending the sporting event. If it's college football, you're better off going to the event. Everything else, stay at home or go to a restaurant. The researcher asked 117 people who visited a local restaurant on a Saturday, and 7 people refused to respond. Which of the following factors makes it least likely that a reliable conclusion can be drawn about the sports watching preferences of all people in the town? So they're asking, what would make this information unlikely to be reliable if we're trying to extend it or extrapolate it to the preferences of all people in the town? Sample size, population size, the number of people who refused to respond, or where the survey was given. I'm going to start at the end and give you the answer. The answer is where the survey was given, D. The reason for that is that the survey was given at a local restaurant on a Saturday. If they had asked when it was given, that would also be a reason for bias, but they don't give us the option of the time. People who go to a local restaurant, all the same local restaurant, have something in common. People who go out on a Saturday have something in common. The only time that sample size or population size or the number of people who refuse to respond will be the answer is when the numbers are exceedingly low. I'm talking about low single digits. And here they had 117 people respond. That's enough people. You know, when survey companies like Gallup polls do election surveys, a lot of the time they talk to 1,000 people, and that's for a country of 300 plus million. So 117 people can be controlled for. Even 7 people refusing to respond can be controlled for. The headline of this question is that the sizes of the responding population are almost never the answers. The location of a survey or the time that it was given are much more likely to be the correct answers. So again, D is the answer here. Again, getting away from absolute language and from language that commits us to a particular set of information is what's important. Well, another one, this is Test 5. Section 4, number 15. Again, more reading. It's so much. Don't run from it. Embrace it. A polling agency recently surveyed, so again, we're going to be looking at people's opinion, 1,000 adults who were selected at random from a large city and asked each of the adults, are you satisfied with the quality of the air in the city? Of those surveyed, 78% responded that they were satisfied with the quality of air in the city. Based on the results of the survey, which of the following statements must be true? So think of our last 2 questions. One of them dealt with opinions and what can bias a survey. One of them dealt with absolute language and how that can be a problem. I want you to keep that in mind as we look at these Roman numerals and see what we can eliminate. Of all adults in the city, 78% are satisfied with the quality of air in the city. We know that 78% of the respondents were satisfied with the air quality in their city. However, we can't say definitively that that will extend to all members of the city. So even though it could be true, it's not a case where it must be true. That 78% is not an exact extrapolation. Roman numeral 1 is no good. Roman numeral 2. If another 1,000 adults selected at random from the city were surveyed, 78% of them would report they are satisfied with the quality of air in the city. Again, that 78% might be relatively accurate, but we can't be sure that we would land on 78% again exactly. Roman numeral 2 is no good. Roman numeral 3. If 1,000 adults selected at random from a different city were surveyed, 78% of them would report they are satisfied with the quality of air in the city. If we can't extrapolate the 78 from the original respondents into the city in which they live, we certainly can't extend that information to another city, even if the 78 up here can be extended to some degree of certainty to one city or another city. It won't be exact. We will eliminate Roman numeral 3. And the answer here is A. None of these must be true. All of them could be true. It's not a case where any of them must be true. Now, there are no survey biases in 13. They were randomly selected at random from a large city. 1,000 is a perfectly fine sample size. They weren't asked, they weren't all at a pep rally for a sports team. They weren't all surveyed at 1 PM when they were all in the same place. But none of these conditions, Roman numerals 1, 2, or 3, is satisfied by the information given in this particular question. Let's do one more of these. This is test 6, section 4, number 7. The members, and there's always a lot of reading. Again, don't run from it. The members of a city council wanted to assess the opinions of all city residents about converting an open field into a dog park. The council surveyed a sample of 500 city residents who own dogs. Right away, I hope that a red flag goes off or an alarm goes off. All of the people surveyed own dogs. Think about that. The survey showed that the majority of those samples were in favor of the dog park. Which of the following is true about the city council's survey? Take a minute to think about that. Pause it if you have to. Let me drink my coffee if you have to. Let me put my pinky back into place. Let's look at our answer choices. It shows that the majority of city residents are in favor of a dog park. Is this a fair and random sample? Remember, everybody who they surveyed was a dog owner. So I'm going to put a minus next to A. The survey sample should have included more residents who are dog owners. I feel like they only talked to dog owners, so I'm going to put a minus next to that. I don't think that we needed more dog owners. We maybe needed a more representative sample. Answer choice C. The survey sample should have consisted entirely of residents who do not own dogs. Okay, so this extreme language, entirely of residents, absolute language, entirely of residents who do not own dogs. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have talked to anybody who owns a dog or who only owns a dog. I'm saying that there should be a mixture of people who do and do not own dogs. I don't love C. What about D? The survey sample is biased because it is not representative of all city residents. This looks a lot better. Remember, they only talked to people who own dogs. So that's why it's not a great sample. A, B, and C are all bad. D is the correct answer. You're not going to get a lot of absolute satisfaction from questions like this. It's always going to be a matter of getting rid of what you hate and looking for the mistakes that the people who created the survey made along the way. Good luck, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure that you like us and subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll get information on the new videos as soon as they're available. It helps us a lot. Also, visit us at factsonlytestprep.com. That's where you'll find links to the tests that I use in my lessons, along with some other resources that we prepared for you. Thanks and good luck.